There was a blind man and a lame man, and there was a drought. And they lived in the same hut. Miraculously, one morning, they saw 3 huge birds, plump birds, sitting in the tree just to the edge of their yard. Blind man could hear the birds, and he called to lame man and said, "Look, get on my shoulders and I will carry you to where those birds are. Then you shoot them and we can cook them." So lame man agreed, climbed on blind man's shoulders, and lame man directed blind man to exactly where he needed to stand in order that they could shoot those birds. He stood in the right place, lame man on blind man's shoulders, shot the birds. Birds fell down, they were ready for cooking. At this point, lame man said, "Okay, you wait there. This is cooking very dangerous, of course, for you, blind man. I will cook the bird, and I'll call you when it's ready." So, lame man lit the fire, got the bird in the pot, cooked it up, cooked it and cooked it and cooked it, and decided just to taste it to see, when it was ready. They hadn't eaten for so long. Lame man couldn't resist eating just a little bit of the bird. And you know what it's like once you start eating something, you can't stop. So he ate and ate and ate and ate until all that was left of this bird was a set of bones and some very, very weak soup. At this point, he called over to blind man and said, "Okay, it's ready now. Come and have the soup." Blind man sat there, was guided to, with his hands were guided to the pot. He reached in with his spoon and found there was nothing there but bones and watery soup, and said, "What is this? What is this? How come you've eaten up all the soup? Where's all the bird meat gone? This isn't fair." And lame man said, "Well, look, blind man, you would never have been able to shoot the birds, would you? It was I who did all the work. You should be grateful to be having these bones and watery soup." And blind man said, "What are you talking about? You could never have reached to where the birds were in the tree. It was on my shoulders that you rested when you shot those birds. It should have been me who had eaten most, if not all, of this stew." And they set about beating each other up in rage. Eventually the village elders heard about it, managed to haul them apart, and they called a council, a court, to decide who was in the wrong and who was in the right. The question I ask you is, who do you think should have had all or most of that soup? Blind man or lame man? And whose actions were right, whose actions were wrong?